Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation for Codegeist2025. We present to you SherlockSync, where you decode your code and illuminate your documents. It bridges the gap between code changes to context-rich documentation, observing commits, generating meaningful updates, and keeping documents clear, current, and insightful so teams always have the right answers. We constantly confront a challenge that slows us down and tests our patience, a code base with outdated or missing documentation. New team members struggle to find their footing. Delivery timelines expand because understanding the code requires time-consuming exploration. Valuable hours are spent piecing together context that should already exist. Out-of-date documentation, undocumented logic, and stale runbooks are not just small annoyances. They are real impediments to productivity and collaboration. What should be straightforward becomes unnecessarily complex. What should be efficient becomes frustratingly slow. Here is an example of a repository. In this user controller, you can see we have multiple user APIs present. And in the documentation for this particular service, we see that we have only one single API present, which is the sign up register one. So we see a discrepancy between our repository and our documentation. We realize this is not just our problem. It is a pain shared across engineering teams everywhere. Knowledge gaps that hinder progress, strain communication, and inflate delivery cycles. This shared challenge inspires our solution. We have built a unified intelligent platform that brings together Bitbucket and Confluence, powered by the latest Claude Sonnet model and seamlessly built on Forge with responsive web triggers, intuitive UI elements, and efficient queues. Our platform does more than retrieve documentation. It interprets, connects, and illuminates the context engineers need right where they work. Let's take a look at how does this all work on a higher level. As you can see in this particular diagram, the step starts from developer merges their code into their Bitbucket repository. The Bitbucket then emits a merge event. The Forge web trigger listens instantly to this event. The configuration is loaded from Forge KV and existing documentations are fetched from Confluence. This web trigger enqueues this message. And then the Forge process asynchronously works on this message where the payload is sent through API gateway, which triggers the AWS Lambda. The Lambda processes the request, wherein the Claude Sonnet analyzes the repository and Confluence content to generate updated documentation and diagrams. The Forge process receives this latest update and then sends the update to Confluence document. It also sends Slack notification for success or failure. Teams consume living documentation in Confluence. Let's dive right into how it works with the help of an example. So, you would need to go to your repository settings and provide the Confluence document URL to update along with the Confluence and Bitbucket tokens. These are required so that our service can connect with Confluence and Bitbucket and update the document. Once the org admin ID email and the Slack webhook URLs are provided, you can go ahead and save this. Right. So as you can see, this would generate a webhook URL. This webhook URL needs to be configured with these triggers. You need to trigger repository on updated and pull request on merged. These are already present for our existing repository. Here we have a pull request that introduces a new API endpoint. Notice here is a pull request that introduces a new API endpoint of tag service. Let's go ahead and merge this change. I will first approve it and then hit merge. So notice, as you can see, when I am merging this change, there is no requirement for manual documentation. Right. So once this pull request has been merged into our main line, our automation kicks in immediately. The system analyzes the code diff, identifies what changed, and updates only the relevant documentation sections. And just like that, the documentation is updated automatically. Let's take a look at the Confluence doc now. Let's hit reload. Right, so as we can see, the document has been updated with the latest details. It also has generated the sequence diagrams for our service. Let's check the Slack notification. Right, so we have also received a Slack notification that our document has been updated correctly. So, what once took hours of guesswork now resolves in moment. We are not merely addressing our own frustrations, we are redefining how teams understand, explore, and engage with their code. Because brilliant engineering deserves clarity, confidence, and momentum. With every merge, documentation stays in sync automatically. And there you have it, docs that never fall behind your code. Thank you.